Hello everyone and welcome on back to the channel. Look at you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Oh man, it is time. Long Song Saturday, April 2023, and some other stuff we have going on. Okay, let's not waste too much time. Let's kind of jump into this a little bit. First of all, you guys have probably seen my video. What did I title that video? What was the clickbaity title I used? I'm never doing this again. I love a good title. For the month of April, 3 videos every single day. Boom! Bang! It's gonna be great. Got a lot of stuff going on. It's gonna be awesome. Let's get into the Long Song Saturdays though, amongst the other things that we're covering within some of those 3 video days. So, Long Song Saturday, we have the first. So this is a piece of music that has been recommended by, let's see, Neil Adams, James Dignan Music, Janine and Frederica, Gunnar, I believe David, I think you recommended this. Allotrope, I have been seeing you for years asking for this piece of music. We're going to listen and watch a live reaction, or not reaction, we're going to listen and watch a live performance of Maurice Ravel's Bolero. That's what's happening on the first Long Song Saturday. Hope that you guys are ready for that one. I've been trying to do a little bit more classical music here and there, sprinkled in the Long Song Saturdays. So yeah, that'll be the first, what's coming up first for that. By the way, just before I keep on going, if I mess up who's recommended songs or music or whatever, I'm sorry. I literally just have a search bar on YouTube. I type in Ravel, Bolero. Every comment that includes that will be coming up, so I kind of just quickly surf down the list. So I'm sorry if any of those are not recommendations from people, but I'm pretty sure most of the time it is. Anyways, moving on to the 8th of April. We are going to be doing the last track on this album. We've started this album quite a while back there. Listened to the first 2 tracks, so now on the 8th we'll be listening to the last track. Don't worry, we'll hit the meat in between the bread. But that will be recommended, before I even tell you what it is, recommended by D. Chalmers, Marco Mazzola, Michael Capewell. I'm looking through Brumley Twitch. I was reading in my head. And I know this one's been recommended by a lot of other people. Eric Dupont, Tin Top, I see you as well. A lot of people have recommended this. This will be, hold on, I gotta pull up my list again. Hatfield and the North with Mumps. That will be April 8th. My mind right now is March brained, so I was like, wait, we're in March. What are we talking about? April 8th will be Hatfield and the North Mumps. Listen, I'm all there. I'm just spacing a little bit. Okay. 15th, we're going to do a full album for the 15th. We're going to do all of it, just a straight shot. And it won't be edited on YouTube because as of right now, it's cleared all the copyright stuff. So as of right now, it's all good. So don't have to worry about a Patreon workaround for this particular one. This album has been recommended. Let me go to my next tab over here. I have like a ton of tabs right now to get all the recommendations and stuff. This has been recommended by Manhattan Man, by Rodney Griffin, by James Warner, Gastric Bunsen, and the list keeps on going on. Hot Black Deseado, and I Just Need Myself, and Heath Palace. This will be the full album of Wire. Pink Flag, this will be their debut album, 1977, punk rock, art punk, post-punk, all the punks. It's got a little bit of everything for a little bit of everybody. So that will be a full album reaction on the 15th. Then, on the 22nd, we are embarking on, I want to say, if not the longest track we've covered so far, it's probably one of them. No, it's not Mike Oldfield just yet. I know some of you are thinking, what is it, Amarok? Not yet. But we're going to cover, I think it's 33 minutes that this particular track is. And it's the last track on the album. Don't worry, we'll be covering the meat. We're just doing the bread at this particular point. This will be the Mars Volta with their track Cassandra Gemini off of Francis the Mute. I think that's what it's called, Francis the Mute. It's the last track on the album, coming in around 33 minutes or so. That's wild. People have recommended that. Melvin Womack, you've recommended the band, I think you have. Kyle Henderson considers. Owen Arop, I can't pronounce your last name, I'm sorry. Minor Cirrus, and The Who rocks 515. So I see you guys with the album recommendation. So there you go for the 22nd. Then, oh, I just hit in the back of my head. Then for the 29th, we're going to be covering, I think this is the first track on this particular album. I think so. But this has been recommended to me by Rory, JP, Porgy T, Bob Holtzman, Benoit Desmarais, Greg Jones, I see you as well, Yatta Bay, and the list goes on and on from there. This will be the track from Cat Stevens, Foreigner Suites. I think it's about an 8 to 18 minute track that we'll be covering that day. So that is for the 29th, Cat Stevens. So, Long Song Saturday, Maurice Ravel, Bolero, Classical. Hatfield in the North, Mumps, Progressive, Canterbury. 15th, Wire, Pink Flag, Punk, Post-Punk, Art Punk, Your Punk, My Punk, Your Mom's Punk. The 22nd, The Mars Volta, Modern Prog. I don't know what they do. Cassandra Gemini. There's the 4. And then finally 29th, Cat Stevens, Foreigner Suite, Folk. Something else probably. I don't know. But that's what we're covering. A nice diverse list of genres being covered. I try to keep it somewhat diverse. So that's the Long Song Saturday. However, also throughout the month of April, we'll be covering and finishing albums, beginning albums, completing albums in totality. So here's some of what's going to be coming up without actually telling you what's coming up in the albums, because I like to have a little bit of a surprise. So I'll do what I did last time. I'll give you hints, but you guys can figure it out. And sometimes you can tell by my response whether you're right or not. So some of them are going to be connected to like the Long Song Saturdays. So for example, we'll be finishing Hatfield in the North, the Rotters Club, and then going along with that, the Mars Volta, Francis the Mute. We'll be covering the whole album at that point. But then within that, we have 3 separate albums that we're going to be covering. 3. So the first one, let me get my list back up here. The first one, we have never done a track from this band. I've heard of them in the comments, but I've never heard anything from the band. So this would be our first, like a true first listen. They were recommended, I think Christian Adams, I think you recommended them. They've been mentioned by GP Reactions. I see Sheldon Howells, did you recommend this band? Spherical Harmony, you did. I know that for sure. Anyways, it's going to be their debut album. Their genres are new wave and punk rock. Released 1979. It's a female-led band, if that helps. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I just want to throw out a few hints here and there. But like I said, haven't covered one song by them, but I am excited to go ahead and give them a listen. Cover that within this particular month. I did not. Oh, I forgot to pull up the recommendations for for the next few. I totally forgot. Okay, just let me go along with this so I don't have to keep you here too long. The next album we're going to cover in the month of April. We have covered one song off of this album a long time ago. This album is the 6th studio album from this particular artist, released in 1970. Genres: experimental rock, psychedelic folk, avant-garde jazz. Got a lot going on in this one, but I totally forgot to pull up recommendations. So I don't want to say it because I have that thing where like I have to speak it while I type it. Okay, so a lot of I can't find names. It's too long of a list. Sebastian Famery, John Ramsell, I think Yatta Bay. I think you recommended this as well. Delicate G, Kenneth Calls. The list goes on just a little bit. So yeah, some of you have recommended this album. I almost said the name of it. Like I said, we've covered one song from him a long time ago. And now we're going to go ahead and listen to this album, 1970. A lot of experimental stuff on this one. Next, and finally, the last album that in totality we'll be covering for the month of April. Once again, I did not pull up any names. So let me just type that in really quick. I almost said it again. Gotta put the zipper there. So this was recommended from Joel Liebler, Valerie Kokengi, BJW Nash, O-Town Music Junkie, Raggedy Adams, I believe I see you here as well. Bob Holtzman, you're in the list. And Brax 1982. Like I said, hopefully that is the list of people that have recommended it, just coming from my search bar. Anyways, this is another female-led band. This is the debut studio album, released 1975. Genres: punk rock, art punk, garage rock. We've covered not anything from this album, but we have done maybe one or two songs from her, I believe. Let me look up how many songs I've covered from her, because I know we've done a little bit. Well, now it's showing what I've listened to from this album, because I'm recording ahead, in case that's not obvious. Trying to do three videos a day. I've recorded ahead a little bit, but yeah, we've done a few songs at least from her already. So this listen. There's a lot of stuff happening in the month of April. Hopefully those hints are enough to kind of like get you interested a little bit. Hopefully there's something within that list that is of interest to you. Of course, this is not all we're going to be covering throughout April. There'll be sprinkles of other stuff thrown around. But yeah, hope that there's something in there for you to look forward to. Thank you so much for being here as always, day in, day out. I appreciate you watching. We're going to have a really great April. And thank you guys. I will see you around. Bye.